Hello everyone, welcome to Code Bandage. In this video, I will create a simple registration form using HTML. HTML form actually takes input from user and that user input is most often sent to a server for processing. It contains controls such as checkboxes, radio button, text boxes, and we write label on these controls. Here I have already created a file with basic HTML syntax. If you are a beginner and missed my first video, HTML for Beginners 1, then pause this video here, go and watch that first, because in that I have deeply described that how to create file with extension and HTML syntax. If you already watched that video and know the basics, let's start with HTML form. To create a form, we need to write the form tag inside the body tag. This HTML element is used to create an HTML form for user input. There are two important attributes of this tag that are action and method. We will discuss these attributes when we connect our form to database. This time we are only creating the form interface. You are using HTML only. The form tag serve as a container for different types of input elements such as text field, checkboxes, radio button, submit button, etc. And we are going to cover some of these form elements in this video. So we are going to create registration form something like this. There is a heading and a paragraph. Below there are some input fields we will discuss one by one. So first we need heading 2 for register. And a paragraph tag. Let me check the text for paragraph. Create your account. Okay, so let's check it. To bring it to the center, let's use the center tag. Now for first input, that is name, we need a label. Write the label tag, and inside the label tag write name. And input type we need is text that defines a single line text field with default width of 20 characters. And to display the text full name inside the text box, we need placeholder. Let's write the placeholder and inside the colon write full name. So our first input field has been created. In the same way, we need input type text for username. Let's copy paste it and change the placeholder. Change the text in the label. Input type will remain same. Placeholder will be changed to username. Next we have email, and for email we need the input type email that defines a field for an email address, and input value is automatically validated to ensure that it is properly formatted email with @ symbol. So we write email and the type, and the placeholder will also be email. So we are done with name, username, email, and for phone number we will use the input type number. It will restrict the user to enter only number and no character. Inside the label tag write contact. Input type will be number and placeholder Let's write phone number here. Break the line. Next, for password, we will write inside the label password, and input type will also be password. Now for gender, we have to select one and only one option from multiple choices. For that, we have input type radio in HTML form that allows the user to select one and only one option. Radio buttons are also used for multiple choice question where we have to select only one option. So here I need a label gender with two input fields, one for female and one for male. Here I am using same variable G for both input fields. That is because the radio button must have to share the same name to be treated as a group. Once the radio button is created, selecting any radio button in that group automatically deselect any other selected radio button in the same group. You can have as many radio groups on a page as you want. The next input type is checkbox. In some cases, we are supposed to select multiple options from the given choice. For that, we use checkboxes. Let's see how it works. First, we need a label, let's say your interest, and the option can be sports, fashion, politics, and media. So a person may have multiple interests, maybe in fashion and media, or only in media, or maybe in all given option. For such user input, we use input type checkbox. So for 4 options, we need 4 input fields with same name attribute variable. So variable I will remain the same for all the options. Let me change the options name to fashion, politics, and sports. Okay, we are done with sports, so let's write media here. So here you can see that I have 4 options for my interest. I can either select all the 4 options, or any one, or maybe any 2. But in the radio button, we are only allowed to select one option. Now at the end, we need a submit button. So for that, we need a button tag with type submit, and we need to display register now on the button. So here is our button with name register now. So our form has been created. Let's type something here in the email field. So you can see that when I type any text here, not properly email address, a pop-up has been generated that asks me to include @ in my email field. And in contact field, I'm only allowed to type any number, and here is my password. And for gender, I can select only one option. In checkboxes, I can select the multiple options. So our registration form has been created, but you can see that it's not aligned, and we have no tag in HTML for alignment. That's why we use table to align data in HTML. In my previous video, I told you guys in detail that how to create a table. So this time I'm not going in the depth of creating the table. So let's move quickly with it. So write the table tag, and inside the table tag, we need the first row. In first row, we have the register and a paragraph, we will write it in one column. So our first row will have only one column. In the second, we need two columns, one for name and one for the input field. So second row, first column, close it. For input field, we need the second column, the next TD tag, close it, close the row. The same way we create the next row. Here we also need two columns, one for the label username and one for the input. Close this row and create the next row for email. Here we also need two columns, close the row. The next row we need two columns. So our content is now aligned. Let me draw the border. So you can see that the content of first row and the last row occupy the space of only one column. That is because we use only one column, one TD in the first and the last row. So the content occupy the space of only one column. And the rest of the space is empty. In such cases, we use the column attribute call span. The call span attribute in HTML specifies the number of columns a cell should span. It allows the single table cell to span the width of more than one cell or column. So I will use the call span 2 for the column of first row and first row and the last row. So both of these columns will get the span of 2 columns. Now let's use the center tag to bring the content to the center. So we are done with our HTML registration form interface. In my next video, I will connect this form to the database. So that's all for today. If you like the video, give thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe Code Bandage. Thanks for watching.